person to do this. And so that's what I did for 8 years. I volunteered and helped her fundraise for those things she was passionate about. And then I got an opportunity through the mentorship of my club to speak to optometrists all across Canada. And from there, they invited me to come to their clinics to coach me. I couldn't have done this without being a member of Toastmasters. I learned all about coaching and giving feedback through the evaluations. And so I am so passionate. I went on from there to be called by an American magazine that heard about me to write about the importance of recalling patients. And that all these opportunities came because I was a member of Toastmasters. Alan, who's on today, Alan is the VP of PR at our club, and he encouraged us when COVID appeared, stay involved, come on Zoom, don't give up. And so many of our members decided to leave it until we were back in person. But Alan, you changed my life by saying, come on Zoom and learn technology. And I did just that. And I was able to give my brother's eulogy in Trinidad via Zoom. I was able to attend my niece's gender reveal party in Guyana via Zoom. And then last June, I had the great honor of presenting to the Caribbean Association of Optometrists via Zoom. So this is why I'm dedicating this presentation to my Toastmasters Members Club. And as you can tell, I am all in. So please, Dorothy, my next slide. So what does this mean? We've heard Deepak speak about this, and forgive me, I like everything in an acronym that I could remember. So I've rearranged this for me for RISE. It means respect. We respect each other in our club. We do this by giving our all. We present ourselves at every meeting, just all in. To integrity, we come giving it our very best. And service, when we are serving ourselves well, we're serving our memberships well. And we do all this with the intent that we're thriving for excellence. And yes, as Deepak says, we will fail, but I always think of it as missteps. And we get up and we say, yes, we've learned something, now we're moving on. Next, please. So what makes a leader? We know we came to Toastmasters, it's a place where leaders are made. And for me, the acronym you'll notice here is RACE. Some of us join several clubs and we want to race forward. Some of us are here and we're enjoying the journey at whatever pace we've wanted for ourselves. But the first letter in RACE, and this is all about leadership, is the relationship. When we focus on connecting with each other, on being there for each other, magic happens. We become more successful, more of who we are, more authentic. And of course, we have to be agile in our leadership and in how we behave in a club, because we're all at a different pace. We all come from different life experiences, and we're all in our own specific journey. And C, collaboration. We can't do it on our own. I have an amazing executive, and together we collaborate. And then empathy, having empathy for each other, having empathy for ourselves. Sometimes I come to a meeting and I've had a day that hasn't been fun, but I go back and remember, it's all about the service I'm here to give at my meeting. Next, please, Dorothy. And the key words to success. We're all doing this looking for success. And sometimes we forget the personal success we're gleaning as we look for that professional success. And I love this doormat. It reminds us we come to Toastmasters as we are, whether it's the way we're dressed or just whoever we are at that specific day and moment. And I love the C words, commitment. We come committed to give our best. Of course, I acknowledge it takes courage. It took so much courage for me to move from a role of being in a back office at an optometry clinic, calling 100 people a day and booking appointments. Very different from then standing in a ballroom of people looking at me. So I acknowledge it takes courage. But then we're in the right place to grow our confidence. And of course, there's cooperation and collaboration in those people that surround themselves with us. And when they see we're committed, they are all in coaching us to get where we want. So I say, come as we are, but I just want to tweak that a little. When our members are going to come to the podium or lectern to speak, to give that prepared speech, I asked them to come just a little dressed up. When they're coming for us to induct them, I asked them to come dressed to match the importance of the commitment they're making to our club. Next, please, Dorothy. And consider the impact. Most of us come to Toastmasters like I did because of a fear. A fear, okay, I'm going to start this new Pauline Blachford consulting, and I'm going to go to speak across the country, and I'm going to coach in clinics in every province. I mean, that's a lot. But what was my passion? My passion was to get the word out of how important it is to have regular eye health exams and to remember, don't leave the kids behind. We want to see the children very early. So if they have any eye issues, we want to catch it. If we can catch it before they're 3, that's amazing. So I came to White Rock Toastmasters because of a passion I had. I'd like to ask you, what is your passion? Are you really following that dream? Are you really offering all that you have to us? There's a question for you. Next, please. And so what does this all mean for your club? Well, for you, it's telling your story. Have you told your story? I remember 2 years after that I became a member of Toastmasters, I love, one of you mentioned last night how much you missed the actual paper format of our magazine. And I loved reading these magazines. I particularly love the page, Your Turn. And so I thought, what if I sent my story of how I'm influencing people across the country by sharing what Toastmasters is doing for me with regard to vision? And I wrote to Toastmasters and they came back and said, you know what, Pauline, we don't know that we'll be able to publish your article, but thank you for sending it. And so in May 2016, I got that email saying, we've decided to publish your story. And so I challenge you, have you shared your story? Reach out to Toastmasters. They need to hear from you because we all need to hear your stories. Next, please. So from a club-centric, meaning from within our club, the focus as leaders, where I always say, let's mimic the professional world. We have people that are with us that come every Monday and they're growing their careers. They're practicing to be able to get that job that they know they deserve, yet they were missing the skills of interviewing. They weren't showing up with all the confidence that they should have. They had all the degrees, and yet they were getting those jobs that they knew they could get. And this is where we help them to remember that whatever we learn within the 4 walls of our classroom at Elgin's school where we meet is going to translate into their lives, their personal lives, as well as their professional lives. And yes, they're here to improve every aspect of their skills. They're investing time when they come to us. And we as co-members, We are investing our time to make sure that they're being seen and they're being assisted. And then we're growing at all levels. Some of us came to Toastmasters for professional reasons. Now I'm kind of semi-retired, and I come because I've fallen in love with the friends that I've made, and therefore I'm still there. It's now time to give back, and I'm there. If I'm in the country, I am at Toastmasters every Monday night. And coaching. I've mentioned coaching. It's so important, making sure that we're being coached and making sure that we're coaching others. And communicating at the heart, being authentic, sharing all that we are, giving of our very best, and then being innovative. We have done a few fun things at Toastmasters at our club to be innovative. We have used our table topic sessions to practice our persuasive speaking and to raise money by bringing something from home that we're not using. Maybe it was a gift given to us that we no longer need. And we have used persuasive speaking to sell these items. And so a few weeks ago, we raised $718 for our local food bank, all while we were having fun and all for a very good cause. And then the one thing we also do too is we are now starting to encourage our new members to enroll in pathways before we induct them, because I realize that sometimes this is it's hard. It's hard to get in and get enrolled and get it done. And so it's working well to ensure we're enrolled and then we're inducted. And then last but not least in the line of innovation is that we've elevated the ceremony, our induction ceremony, to remake our new members realize, existing members too, because we always renew our promises to serve our new members during every induction, of course, but we elevate the ceremony to remind us all that we belong to an amazing organization. We pay very little financially, and yet it's so important that we know that we belong to something so much bigger than our club. And just imagine, Toastmasters International has helped over 4 million people. And we're now one member of over 360,000 around the world. Next, please, Dorothy. So what about the community? As I've said before, we are in a classroom with 4 walls. But wow, when I see the energy that comes into our room every Monday, and then I imagine the energy that goes out in the community, because we're representing so many different areas of our lives. We belong to churches and other organizations, to our families. We're parents and siblings and grandparents. We have more impact in our community than we would ever give ourselves credit for. So with this, my first one is connection. We're connecting, we're building relationships, we're supporting each other. We're collectively learning, and we're going out there and we're spreading our positive energy and enthusiasm. We're mentoring, we're sharing at our authentic level, because we learn to see this at Toastmasters. We see our co-members get up there and share their failures and successes and their strengths and their weaknesses. And of course, we're using empathy all the time to be there for each other. And we're going above and beyond. So not only are we there as a club, we are very much alive and well in our community. Next, please, Dorothy. And I love this one by Robert Ingersoll. We rise by lifting others. Isn't this amazing? If we just pause and think of the impact that we're having on the people around us. How many times has someone said to you, I've noticed you're more courageous, you're showing more confidence. There's something about you that's different. And what a great time to say, I'm a member of Toastmasters. I'm growing my confidence weekly. Would you come along and check it out with me? And so I love this one. I noticed the word rise, and I heard, we always say rise to the occasion. Our founder is on this morning with us, and Marlene Johnston started our club over 33 years ago. She's the epitome of lifestyle, using Toastmasters as a lifestyle. And she always says, say yes to every opportunity and then prepare for it. And so I love this. People say rise to the occasion, but then we say you always have to fall back on preparation. Next slide, please. And here we are, the Toastmaster lifestyle. Yes, we can. As I said, Marlene is still attending our meetings regularly. She continues to be our greatest support fans. But it all has to do with the trust we've built with each other, that the culture we've created for our clubs within our club, within our own clubs, for the growth that we appreciate and love seeing in each other, for the fun we're having. At our club, we have a monthly pub night. We have a summer barbecue. We have a Christmas exchange gift party. And of course, I've mentioned about the annual auction to raise money for our food bank. And yes, it feels good because it's about the club and it's about our community. Next, please, Dorothy. So let's share resources. We know that we could learn so much from each other. I will have my slides that I'll share with you. You will see some things coming up that I can send to you. You can, you'll see also, you can email me any of your questions. But I just want you to know too, that we want to hear from you, because our club can be even better if we can have some of your resources, if you could share some of your tips with us. Next, please, Dorothy. This is a book that I've read recently, and it really touched me that I read it twice in the last month, because we need to reconnect in a disconnected world. And I saw Jody being interviewed on Global News about 6 weeks ago, and she talked about the importance of feeling seen. And I thought, you know what? When you leave your club meeting and you're driving home or you're virtually and you notice you're missing someone there, what if you sent them an email and you said, I missed you at our meeting. I hope you're doing well. Is there anything I can do for you? Do you need anything? This is all about feeling seen. I hope that you will consider listening to this book on Audibles or picking it up for yourself. Thank you, Dorothy. And we had this, Dorothy came and visited our club this week, and she shared this new member experience survey. And I thought it would serve as a reminder for us all to go ahead and ask those questions of our members, just to see how are they, when they come to our club, how are they feeling received? I know at our club, we ask our visitors to tell us what they felt about the meeting. But I like this, when a new member joins, ask them this question. So Dorothy, thank you for sending me this, and I will definitely, we will implement it in our club.
So Pauline, I'm just going to interrupt you here for a moment. Oh, it's your last slide. Continue.
Yes. And so Alan would sent out this, shared this kind of checklist with us all to help us get ready for our agendas. So this was something that I want to be able to share with you if you would like that. Go ahead, Dorothy.